2025. The time is 10 a.m. This is the zoning violation hearing on zoning violation citation PZC 23-0012, County of Coconino versus Maestas and Magana, taking place by Zoom and in person at Thomas Auditorium, pursuant to Coconino County Zoning Ordinance 5.14. Mr. Stento, are the respondents present today?
The respondents are not present today.
Have they indicated whether they would be present?
No, we have not received any response from the respondents nor completed admission or denial of response.
Okay, what I'd like to do is give them a few more minutes to appear. And so we can go off the record and start back up again at 10:05 a.m., see if they've appeared.
Okay.
And I will just be here on mute.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're on the record.
Okay, good morning again. It's now 10:05 a.m., 5 minutes after the scheduled time for today's hearing. Mr. Stento, have the respondents appeared?
They have not. No one is in attendance on behalf of the respondents, nor the respondents showed up.
Okay. I'm going to put you under oath, Mr. Stento. I just have a couple of questions for you before we proceed. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Stento, I just want to confirm service with you. I'm looking at your exhibits. So it looks like the citation from April 23rd, 2025, the admission or denial of responsibility form, and the notice to appear, all of the same date, were sent to that address in San Diego. Is that correct?
That's correct. I can elaborate on our service attempts if you'd like, Mr. Brown.
Sure.
So the property's owner, Maestas, is alleged to be deceased. The Leticia Magana is listed as an in-care-of name with the recorder's office. This is as reflected in Exhibit 2G. The final notice, which is the county's Exhibit 2, was sent to Leticia Magana, who does reside at the same address as the property owner, Wendy Maestas. The final notice was signed for by Leticia Magana, again shown in Exhibit 2. The county issued the citation to Leticia Magana, and the county did not receive a receipt, but the tracking did show delivery to the San Diego address that the final notice was also sent to and that Leticia signed for. This is not uncommon for the Postal Service, as sometimes return receipts are not sent back to us. Code Enforcement Officer John Cole delivered a copy of the citation to the alleged tenant, Leonard. Leonard was not present at the time of Cole's visit on 23 April. He left it on the door. John Cole later spoke directly with Lenny, as he's known, on 28 May in a follow-up inspection. In that case, John Cole asked Lenny directly if he was aware of the hearing. Lenny stated he was aware of the hearing and had received the documentation from the county. Lenny did not comment on the owner or the in-care of Ms. Magana being aware or not of the hearing.
Okay, thank you for that information. That's helpful. And just to be clear, you have not received an admission or denial form?
That's correct. The county has not received a completed admission or denial form.
Okay. And looking at your exhibits, particularly 6A through 6C from the June 3rd, 2025 inspection, can you avow that those are accurate depictions of how the property appeared on that date?
I can. I took those photos myself.
Okay. Okay, and the citation is pretty specific in terms of the violations and what it lists. Vehicle parts, you saw vehicle parts out there on your most recent?
Yeah, so a lot of the vehicle parts had been cleaned up, but we were broadly left with trash, household items, and secondhand materials and appliances. All of which are regulated under section 4.7 of the county zoning ordinance, and the which was the listed violation on the citation.
So do you, like, as of right now, or your June 3rd inspection, were there still vehicle parts and tires there or not really?
No tires. There were some vehicle parts.
Okay, so no tires, definitely vehicle parts. Looks like household items, secondhand materials. And how about inoperable vehicles? Were they there?
There were no inoperable vehicles there at the time. We believe when Lenny left the property, he took anything of value with him, and that would include the inoperable vehicles he was alleged to be scrapping on the property.
So basically, we're left with some vehicle parts, some household items, secondhand materials, and refuse.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. Okay, well, based on the respondent's failure to appear, which results in a finding of it that the citation is admitted, as well as their failure to submit an admission or denial form, which is deemed an admission by default, I have no choice but to enter a finding of responsibility and to impose a penalty. I'm going to modify that a little bit so that the finding is based on vehicle parts, household items, secondhand materials, and refuse. And we will proceed to impose a penalty. So, Mr. Stento, what penalties are you seeking?
The county is seeking a 30-day compliance period, beginning today, and requests a recall hearing after July 7th, 2025, the hearing officer's discretion to determine compliance. At that time, if compliance has not been achieved, the county is seeking a fine of $600, based on an assessment of $20 per day, for the violation of unlawfully stored secondhand materials, refuse, vehicle parts, and household items on the property. For each day of non-compliance, after the proposed 30-day compliance period, if compliance is not achieved, an additional $20 per violation per day is requested.
Okay. Mr. Stento, let me ask you something. Do you anticipate making any contact or progress in the next 30 days to have a compliance period?
We do know the Encara of Leticia Magana is receiving what we're sending. So we're hopeful that given an additional compliance period and the allegations that the owner and potentially Leticia still retain contacts in the area, may lead to some substantive cleanup.
Okay.
If not, in addition to the fines I noted, the county is prepared to consider an abatement notice to the responsible persons, and the county may at that point consider its options regarding cleanup of some of the trash that represents a health hazard.
Okay, gotcha. But hold off on that for the time being.
That's correct. We're going to see if we can get some progress before we do that. But the county is concerned that the remaining trash strewn across the property represents a health and safety hazard to the neighborhood.
Okay. Okay, well, that's fine with me. That's what I'll order. Do you want to look at a calendar and set a recall, agree on a recall hearing date?
Yeah, so looking at the calendar, the week of the 7th, we have additional hearings scheduled on 10 July. We already have that 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. potentially filled. So I would be looking at either 8 or 9 July, Tuesday or Wednesday respectively, if that works with your schedule, sir.
Do you feel like there's too much scheduled for the 10th?
We can do it on the 10th as well. I just didn't want to stack those too late. Your schedule didn't permit it.
I could do the 10th.
Okay. Then I would say we could do 11:30 or 12, with preference to 11:30 on the 10th.
Yeah, let's do July 10th at 11:30.
Very good.
Okay, with that, I will follow this hearing with a written order to you, and we will adjourn.
Okay, very good, Mr. Brown. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well.
Bye-bye.